So, how's everybody doing today? We're going to be playing a little bit more Legend of Dragoon. Last we left off, I did a little trick to power level... I did a little trick to power level Dart a bit. I had the other two characters die so that Dart could get all the XP from the boss, and now he's, like, a bit higher level than he's supposed to be. And because the game is balanced around... Because the game is balanced in a certain way. Let's see. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I was hoping for. Okay. And let's see the difference. Yeah. So... yeah. Uh-oh. I swear, this almost never happens. You can do, like, 1 damage. Oh, 4. Okay. Okay, relax, buddy. Okay. Come on now. Come on. Yo, what is this Ultra Instinct bat going on? There we go. Alright. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm cool with just power leveling Dart and not giving a crap about these other two characters is that I'm not going to be using them for the rest of the playthrough. Once I get other characters, I'll switch them out, and then they'll be leveled enough to kind of keep up with Dart anyway. So, yeah. Things would get a little bit more complicated if I were planning to use Lavitz or Shauna moving forward. So this is like your first big town, and there's all kinds of stuff to explore. There's a little painter girl that gives you like a painting of Lavitz. I don't really feel like talking to her. It's just a long cutscene. Wow, man. Even as compressed as the 2D backgrounds are, they still look really good. And when the AI upscale is complete, this is gonna look amazing. Wow. Oops, I just heard of that. Okay. Is there something over here? I feel like I remember there being something over here. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh. That's embarrassing. I could have sworn there was like a thing here. Because periodically there are things that you can like find. Namely, I believe there is one in here. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. That's okay. So that guy will not let you go through until you buy him some beer. So we gotta go buy some beer for the guy who is already drunk. Got that good spirits. That good shit. Come on. There we go. Come on. He just kind of goes over there. Good for him. So... I'm not even sure where I am at this point. I guess, like, the sewers or something? But this is considered part of the castle in this town, so the music changes. That's kind of weird. There is... I will tell you about it as soon as I pick one up, but there's, like... There's a thingy. Okay, so that's just like, oh, I'm here now, lol. Oh, no, I forgot. I have to come back here way later, because this door is in the way. Okay. Oops, that's embarrassing. Okay, Alright, let's get out of here. I done goofed. That's okay, though. So... Hold on. Part of the reason I wanted to, Actually, let me just go to one of the stores. I think that's where I can find... That's not a store. That is a hotel. Here we go. The blue ones are stores. I believe if I go... One of these has, like, a thing. And he'll be like, wow! Up here, maybe? No? In here. No? Damn it. Hold on. No. No. Hold on a minute. I'm not wrong. Oh, man. It's been so long. Is there one in here? Is there one over here? I can't remember. Daggone it. I don't... Wow. Oh, wait a minute. There's a... I think there's a well here, and then if you look in the well... Yep. Okay, so that's called Stardust, and there's 50 of them throughout the entire 4-disc game. And there's a NPC that you can talk to, and for every 10 Stardust that you give her, she gives you a broken item that makes the game way easier, so... I had, for the last few playthroughs that I played of this, which was admittedly a long time ago, I memorized every single Stardust location, but now it's all gone. It's all gone. I don't remember where they are. So that'll be fun to... I remember there's one here. It's like among the spears, right? Yep. Boom. Okay. See, that I remember. If you want to survive, buy weapons. Let's see. I don't need that. I think I get that from a chest later. Panic guard, stun guard. Does anybody conflict panic anytime soon? Or stun, really? Or fear? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Actually, let me go back to the item shop, because I think there's something I can... Probably restock. I think I used a whole bunch. But yeah, part of the reason I wanted to start the stream up today is because I just got back from a movie called Free Guy. Speaking of NPC, by the way. And I had thoughts about it. And and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Let's see. 10 healing potions, 5 angel prayers. I'm actually pretty good in general. Gonna want as many of those as I can carry. What can I sell? We can actually sell a couple healing potions, actually. We don't need that many. Oh, oops. Okay, no, we're good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is fine, I think. I want to keep the total vanishings, because they'll come in handy later. I don't really need the charm potion, honestly. Okay. Alright. So. So I saw this movie, right? Yeah, everybody here loves Lavitz. He's the talk of the town. I saw in the Legend of Dragoon group on Facebook that Lavitz is 35 during the events of the game. That's nuts. I had no idea. I'm so used to JRPG characters being like 16 or whatever. But, oh, wow. It's weird to look at this kid with, like, a higher... I could actually, like, see his face. That was kind of nuts. Can you see Dart's face if I walk up close enough? Sort of. Wow. Wow, I can see his mouth? Whoa! You can kind of see his nose? Oh, my God! Wow. That's absolutely nutty. Okay. Is there anything in here? I don't remember there being anything of interest in here. I might be wrong, but whatever. So... okay. So there's this movie that I saw called Free Guy. Saw it in theaters. Lord have mercy, the movie theater that I was in clapped at the end of the film. It's not that good. It's not it's not the audience clapping at the end of the film good. That took me by surprise. But yeah, it's... if you're not aware, it stars Ryan Reynolds, and it's basically him. He's an NPC in a game world, and he kind of learns to be a full person, or whatever, and that's kind of what the movie's about. And there were things about it that are cringe that people will talk about a lot, like there's game streamers that have prominent cameos. Pokimane, what's the Irish one? I can't remember his name. Jacksepticeye and Ninja were the 3 that I recognized. And yeah, they were all cringe. The fact that they were even in the movie was cringe. It's fine if they were like 2-second cameos or whatever, but they are used as talking heads for like news in the real world for that movie, and they have lines that go on for way too long because the writing is not that good, and they cannot act to save their goddamn lives, and they probably know the lines are not that good. And it's like, your acting is you. Like, you can't even pretend to be yourself? Come on. But that's fine. That's not what made me want to talk about the movie. What made me want to talk about the movie is the premise and the kind of message that the movie sends. Only 2 or 3 times is there explicit dialogue that... see, that's why I didn't buy Sparkler, because you could just get it in a chest. There's only a couple times that it's explicitly stated. I think there's a... yep! that violence against NPCs, which are essentially like, you know, human visages. It's weird that gamers are just cool with doing so much violence toward them. And that's stated a couple times, but it's essentially the narrative conceit of the whole film. It's about, there are these two programmers that developed basically genuine artificial intelligence, and their code was stolen and put into a first-person shooter, and the NPCs start to, like, gain sentience. That's kind of what the movie's about. And this premise, which is relatively interesting, if a bit made in service to what is essentially like a formulaic movie. Like, it's just at the end of the day, it's just guy meets girl, there is a quest, there is a villain, the villain is defeated, the guy gets the girl. That is just kind of like the formula for how to make a movie that people will enjoy, right? There's gonna be a lot of people who are like, I like the movie. Well, it's like every other movie. That's why you like the movie. That's how you open the little door so that we can come back and ride that boat and get another Stardust. But what I found to be particularly disappointing about the film is that it is kind of enveloped in the flavor of like gaming and gamer culture in a pretty cringe and outdated way, which is fine. It is what it is. It's made by like older people. But what frustrated me about watching it was that the message that they landed at the end of the day was like violence is bad, and that's like all they had to say. Even though they had hundreds of millions of dollars, this unique situation like for a movie that like doesn't get made very often, and that's your message, and it's just like violence in video games. It's like a hotly contested debate that's been talked about since like the 90s, right? You know, outwardly it's crass, but research has been done. It doesn't really seem to be much of an actual societal effect that it has on people. It doesn't cause people to go and be violent. You could make an argument that it causes people to be more aggressive and maybe more toxic, maybe, but there could be like dozens of other factors in our society, and I don't think it's just violence in games. And the reason I find this kind of disappointing is that I just feel like there's so many other issues in gaming and gamer culture that you could talk about that maybe aren't being talked about enough, but that are more insidious and more problematic than just, oh, there's violence and it's bad, right? They do give a little bit of lip service to like feminism and stuff, but it's very very quick, and almost like feminism is like has a cameo in the film, essentially. It's very much not a prominent message, really. Like, there's a couple standout scenes, but I don't know, like, how do I phrase this exactly? I guess I could... Okay, so let's say that I was hired to write a sequel, or a spiritual sequel, or like a continuation of the story. So to just give a very, very brief summary, there's these two programmers, guy and a girl, and they write AI, and then it gets stolen by a developer for a first-person shooter, and then they eventually save their programming that it was about to get destroyed, and they make a deal with the bad guy to, you know, give all the rights as long as they get to keep the server that has their programming in it, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But, you know, at the end of the film, they end up making their dream game, and it just features, like, characters, like, you know, AI, like, smart AI-controlled NPCs talking to each other, and the gameplay is just you watching them talk with each other. Like, that's kind of, like, what the conceit for their, like, ideal peaceful game is. And I thought that was interesting because Yeah, there's no AI, there's no artificial intelligence that exists today, and it certainly isn't being used in video games. But the idea of being of focus of like the player focusing more on character and their like of characters over just like violence and gameplay is not something that's alien to the game industry, but it's also not something that's particularly good either, because it's something that is monetized very maliciously. So let's say I was going to be, let's say I was charged to write a sequel. So what I would do is I would have this character, let's say 5 years after the events of the first film, and I would have this character, it could be a guy, it could be a girl, doesn't really matter, who is just down on their luck. You know, they tried the college life, they fell into a toxic relationship, and things just did not work out. And they got out of the relationship, but it burnt them out, it messed up their schedule, they ended up falling into a dead-end job, which was an exploitative, shitty job that they couldn't get out of. They're barely making ends meet. They're exhausted, they're depressed, and they get introduced to this game called Free Life 2. So, at the end of the first movie, the big game that the two main characters create is called Free Life. So they are introduced to a game called Free Life 2, right? And it's funny, because I have the first half of this planned out in my head, because I was thinking about it on the ride home, but I actually don't know what I'm going to do in the second half, so we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so they get a game called Free Life 2, and they play it, and they're able to create an avatar that's like an idealized version of themselves. They're skinnier, they're more muscular, they're handsomer, they have cooler hair, cooler clothes, and they're in this beautiful, gorgeous world where, you know, like, if you live in like a city area or an urban area, and if you've ever like driven down south, things just look better because the air is cleaner. If you're from the south, you won't know, because like that's just where you live and you don't know the difference. But like, it looks like that, this world that they're in. It looks unbelievable. It's idyllic. It's gorgeous, but there's also danger. There's monsters, there's dragons, there's trolls, there's demons, or whatever. And you know, the player character has the ability to defend themselves, but it's too difficult to fight by themselves. So there are NPCs, there are characters that are able to help them. And there are the certain characters that you're introduced to in the beginning, the NPCs, they're cool characters, but they're kind of boring and bumbly and weak. And in the game, the main character is introduced to like a really cool NPC that maybe is like the opposite gender that they're kind of attracted to, and there's like a quest that they go on together, and you get to fight alongside this NPC, and you get to know them, you get to talk to them. Essentially, you kind of go on a date with them, and they tell you about their thoughts and their feelings, and like the thoughts and feelings feel real because it's like artificial intelligence, right? It's the same programming from the first movie. And so the guy goes on this quest with the character and becomes attached to them, kind of like maybe falls in love with them a little bit. And then the quest ends. And then the person says, all right, like the AI says goodbye, and then they leave this character. And it's established in the game that you don't get to see that, like the main character does not get to see this NPC ever again unless they participate in a system where they collect points and then they spend those points to buy like a loot box. And the loot box will have like 10 items, and one of those 10 items might be the character that they just fell in love with. It could be another character, it could be no characters at all, but there's like a 0.06% chance that it's that character that they fell in love with. That this AI character who they got to know, who's basically a real person, that they got to know for like a day, they'll never see them again unless they roll for this 6% chance. So the main character gets addicted to this game. They're constantly grinding up points and rolling, trying to get this character. And people in their real life are telling them, like, you're getting lost in this game. You're not showing up for work. You're not doing anything. You're just like constantly like playing this game and like not living. It's like, but you don't understand. I am living. I have to beat this character again. You know, I love them. Like, well, but they're not real. And maybe later in the film, the guy actually meets the programmers from the first movie and tells them like kind of like confronts them, like, why did you do this? Why did you make it so that these characters are locked behind this chance-based system? It's so messed up. Why would you do this to me? It's like, well, it's not real. Because like at the end of the first movie, Ryan Reynolds' character, who is an AI, explicitly tells one of the main programmers, like, look, I'm not real. I know that you love me, but I'm not real, and you should go live in your real world. But like they explicitly say halfway through the movie that they are real because they're artificially AI. They go out of their way to say, like, you know, like two of the AI characters have a conversation like, what would you do if you weren't real? And then the other one says like, well, these feelings that we have, they're real. At least they're real to me. Therefore, we are real. So the main character of the second movie is like, no, like let's just say it's a guy, right? And like, no, she is real. I talked to her. Like, I'm her friend. I promised her that I would see her again, and I can't see it. And like, it would just be a movie about the insidiousness of monetizing our attachments to people, because that is a real thing. That is a real thing that game companies are doing. It started out with just like JPEGs. I'm talking about gotchas if you haven't caught on yet. It started out as just like cute, sexy JPEGs. But as the years have gone on and these games have gotten more popular and made more money, and I'm talking billions of dollars, insane amounts of money, insane amounts of player, like an enormously large player bases who play these games and talk about these games all of the time, because they're written and designed in a way even if you don't spend enormous amounts of money on them, like they take up so much of your time, so they take up so much of your headspace, so you're talking about them constantly, and you're talking about them to your friends, and then you get your friends interested in them, and then they go play the game, and then maybe they have more luck than you in drawings, and then that encourages you to spend more money, or they end up spending more money because they're not like you. They don't have the same inhibitions that you have. Maybe you're more resilient to the monetization, but they aren't. And that's kind of what gacha developers kind of prey upon. That's what the system that they've come up with, this genre, that's what it's come up with. And it's predatory, and it's worth talking about narratively. It's worth it to make a movie that says, hey, taking our love of characters and using it to drain people of their money is not cool, right? Like, or at least it's problematic, and maybe it could be done better. Because if artificial intelligence was a real thing and we put it into video games, 100% this is what would happen, right? There would absolutely be an artificial intelligence gacha game. 100%. You would talk to a character in like a quest or a trial, and then you would never see them again unless you pulled them from the banner. And you made friends with them. They're real. They're actual artificial intelligence. So of course you're gonna pull for them. And it's not like you could just like talk to them on somebody else's account, because they don't know you on that account. So yeah, it's just like, that's just one example of something that a movie like Free Guy could have talked about. And it's just a shame that people of a certain generation are locked in on certain issues that just get talked about over and over again that aren't really relevant anymore. Not really. Like violence in video games, like who cares? Like at this point, there's so many different genres and so many different intellectual properties that you can pick and choose. If you don't want to deal with violence in video games, you could just play a non-violent video game. You could just play Farmville. You could just play Candy Crush, you know? I don't know. I just feel like you could make such an interesting movie about artificial intelligence in a game that utilizes the real issues of gaming, and like of gaming culture and like the game industry is the word I'm looking for. I have ADHD, so sometimes I just forget words. Like, they just leave my brain. But yeah, and like the developer that one of the programmers works for that made the big first-person shooter called Tsunami, but it's Soonami. Oh, hold on, cutscene.
As if they were gods, Winglies ruled over all living creatures and used them as slaves. The enslaved suffered a terrible domination and injustice. Their anger
What's up,
turned to
Julian?
a flame of fury. Then a gust of wind blew throughout the lands, spreading the flame to a blazing fire. The wind was Emperor Diaz. 7 incarnations of dragons served the Emperor. Their bravery inspired people to take up arms. Thus began the Dragon Campaign. It was a harsh war. Both people and Winglies suffered countless injuries and fatalities. After a long period of suffering, it was the humans who acquired the future. The age of humans had begun.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really see the chat. I'm using Restream, but I'm streaming on both Twitch and Facebook. And for whatever reason, OBS doesn't give me the option to have like a chat that's like an aggregate of both. I thought I had that on Restream.io, but I can't seem to load it back up, so... yeah. That's kind of frustrating. Don't expect the voice acting to get much better than that, though. I'll say that. I'll say that much. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So like, their portrayal of the game industry was this idea that like just dude bros just control everything, and yeah, to a certain extent that's true, but it's also more insidious than how they portray it. Taika Waititi plays the big villain, Antoine, who is, you know, Taika Waititi is hilarious. Like, he's great in everything that he's in. But I just feel like his character, is just not a... If you're gonna make your film a criticism of the game industry as much as it is a celebration of it, I feel like, you know, I don't know, it's tough because you don't want to necessarily burn bridges, but like, with the whole thing going on with Blizzard Activision and Riot Games and Rockstar, people getting ridiculously overworked, rampant sexism, employees committing suicide through belittlement and stuff. It's just, it's weird to see a lead game industry villain character be goofy and silly and motivated only by greed when the reality is a lot darker, you know? So that was kind of weighing on my mind as I was watching this film and watching these characters play out. So yeah, it's not a very interesting movie, really. There's a lot of cringe writing, unfortunately. But it just made me think about stuff. Can I go this way? I think they won't let me, right? Oh, no, they will. Okay. Because... Yo, what's up, antagonist? Because if I go down this way... For whatever reason, the king of this castle has a secret fun slide! Woo! So, since we opened that door, let's go back. Oh, they won't let me because I have to do the cutscene. Alright, whatever! It's fine. I'm not mad about it. Again, another scene that would look amazing with the AI upscale. I'm sorry. I've kind of been talking over the story, but Dart's initial plan was to just rescue Shanna and go back home. That's all he wanted. He just got back from this big, long journey trying to pursue revenge against the demon that destroyed his homeland. And he came back stronger, but ultimately couldn't find the demon, so he went back. So all he wants to do is, rescue Shannon and go back home. But there's all these there's like a whole war happening. It's not safe to go back there. They're just gonna, kidnap Shanna again, or at least try to. So this scene is just Lavitz explaining to Dart, like, the gravity of the situation. Like, the other side has a dragon. The people are dying. It's horrible. So Dart makes the ultimate decision that, like, if he's going to protect Shanna, he's going to protect the people he cares about, he's going to have to participate in this war, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, but I believe that the music cue comes up as a bit more action-y than sad. Love this song, though. This song is so cool. I just want to triple check something. I want to make sure my microphone's working. Because, like, I could see on OBS that the thing is like, but I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Because it'd be super awkward if you couldn't. Because I just gave, like, a whole speech about Free Guy, and I'd feel awfully silly. Okay. It is working. Good, good, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Then let's go to Bale. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot Lavitz is like, but first we have to go meet my mom. Da na 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 na. I think I might have said this before, but I love how matter-of-fact the dialogue is. Even if it's not properly translated, unfortunately, there are some lines that are weird. Even if you were just to correct, like, the typos and grammatic errors, it's just very matter-of-fact, which is not necessarily good writing, but it can be really funny, and it has its own charm. It's something that a lot of people have said would be lost if they were to remake Legend of Dragoon. Which, it's possible, So now we gotta go meet Lavitz's mom. Is there something in the box? I could have sworn. So this is actually the house. Martel, I believe, is the name of the NPC who collects Stardust. Is there Stardust in her house? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Nah. I know there's like a couple Stardust in Lavitz's house. I just remembered there's like a couple items that you get here. So this is just like, you know, it's just character building, and I forgot there's a couple like goofy little choices that you can have. One of the minor criticisms that I have of Legend of Dragoon's story is the I don't know if I want to call it forced relationship between Shauna and Dart, but throughout the first disc, Dart makes it explicitly clear that like he only sees Shauna as like his kind of found family little sister. And it feels unnatural because like by the end of the second disc he does kind of change his mind, but it just feels like everybody pushes him out of the original mindset, and I don't see anything wrong with, you know, not seeing a woman romantically. So it's just that's like one of the little things that kind of bugs me about the story, is that like everybody pushes Dart to see Shauna as a romantic interest and not just a little sister. But it's not like it's explicitly wrong for him to think that way. So Shauna's gonna cook the food, and she's gonna do that a lot in the first disc because this game was made in 1999, and that's how it is. I think there's Stardust in the kitchen. So this section is like a tour of Lavitz's house, I think. Uh-oh, what's going on? Okay, no, we're good. Could have sworn... No. Probably not gonna let me in here. Oh, there we go. So they say tut. I think they mean like TCH, like t. Oh boy. I remember this scene. Progressive Lavitz. So, I don't know what Lavitz's mom does, but Lavitz's father was a knight named Servi, I think? How on earth did they afford such a big-ass house? I guess just because they worked for the king? Oh no, he was the commander of the knights, right? So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wait, in the war? Did he die in, like, the Sardian War? It's probably not a good idea, but I'm just gonna have the Twitch chat up. Can I I wish I could bring that up in OBS. I sure would love to be able to do that, but unfortunately, because I have it set to stream through Restream, I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. Let's see. Recording settings. It's probably not a good idea to click that midstream, huh? No. No, I don't think so. Nah, short of just having Twitch open, which, probably not a good idea. If I pause the stream, will the chat still, We'll find out. Ah, yes, this scene. Everybody loves this scene. Lavitz's treasure. Everybody loves this scene. Lavitz has an enormous forehead. Because, like, normally, between the CRT and the compression of the PS1, you can't even see their faces, but because I have it upscaled by, like, ×4, now you can see them. They're so goofy. Oh, is that supposed to be a hug? Aww. Oh no, I healed them! Oh, shucks. I didn't think of that. Oh well. Oh, actually... Ah, shit. Oops. I goofed. Okay. So, if you go back here, you go up the ladder. Just walk in midair. Go this way. Jump on this thing. Go in here. Go on this plank, and you just mash it. You just gotta mash it, because if you don't hit it in time, you'll just fall off and have to start the whole thing over again. One more, and we're good. And then if you go here, there is a healing rain, I think? Healing breeze. That heals the entire party by 50%. And you can jump down. Okay. I could have sworn there was a Stardust in here, but I guess not. I thought it was in that bucket, but maybe not. Let me just double check one more time. No. Okay. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay. So... let me just double check some of the houses real quick. Because I'm probably not going to get every Stardust, at least not on my first thing. We can always double back and get them later, but I could have sworn... I think there's like 6 in Bale. Oh, I have to go back and do the boat ride. Gotta do that real quick. This way. So then wait. Was that always there? Oh, hello. 20G? So then, on the boat. So I know that, so we're gonna go on a little tour of this city, which is cool. And I believe I know that for a fact there's at least 1 Stardust that you get out of this, but I think there might be 2. I might be wrong about that though. I know there's definitely 1. That much I know for sure. That one I much for no. What's up? You go here. And then in this dusky old side of the house, you get a little Stardust. How many do we have so far? Like 5? 6. Okay. That might be it for Bill? Question mark. I don't really remember. So I know there's a couple in Hoax, and I know there's quite a few in Lohan. Wow, look at that water. We're back here already? Okay. Alright, so there was only one, but that's okay. So you try to leave, and then you run into this character. This is Martel. She has a baby. I don't know if the baby is supposed to be... Oh, I think it's... I don't know what's on her, like, her lower back. I always thought that was the baby, but now I'm starting to think that it's, like... I think the baby is in her hood on her upper back. That's what it kind of looks like. Like there's like a back sling and the baby's just holding onto her neck for dear life. That's what it looks like. And she calls it baby. I guess because did you not name the baby yet? Do they let you leave the hospital if you don't name the kid? If they're like, what do you want to name him? I don't know. Oh, you can't leave. So you go back here. Talk to her. If you don't talk to her here, you can talk to her later. But it starts the Stardust Quest. I believe the first item that you get from her after giving her 10 Stardust is it's an accessory that it multiplies your health by 1.5, like your maximum health, which is in this game nuts. There are certain characters like Rose and Maru that are really good and strong, but they have low health. So if you give them that accessory, it kind of mitigates that deficiency. Just shrugs like, okay. Alright, we can finally get out of here. Alright, back into the action. Slime boy. Ugh. Ah, so this is a status effect called Block Attack, which means you can't attack. Jesus. Dart he just hits like a truck now. It's actually, from what I saw, I haven't finished yet, but there's a speed run of Legend of Dragoon. I can't remember the name of the group, but it's like a 10-hour speed run, and one of the speed run strats is to have one or more of your characters die during a boss fight, because most of the experience that you're gonna get is from bosses. That's who has like the biggest experience pools. So if you have one character get all that experience, they level up way more than they're supposed to and are way stronger than the game is balanced for. So it was actually cool that I was able to set it up the way that I did. Fortuitous, because the AI doesn't always cooperate. Although, you can manipulate it. There's a thing called charm potions in the game. I actually sold mine because I don't ever use them. But outside of battle, they just make it so you don't get as many encounters, and then in battle, they make it so that the enemies don't target you. So if they don't target the character you don't want to get killed, they target the other characters, kill them, and then you get the idea. It's cool. It's a cool little trick. Let me just take a look at Hoeks. Wow. Alright, so I'm definitely sure that there are some Stardusts up in this bitch, so let's just grab a couple. I think there's only like 2 or 3. I love this song. Yeah, a lot of the Stardusts are just in fireplaces. It makes it a little easier to remember. Is there Stardust here? I don't think there is. In fact, I think there necessarily can't be, because there's a point where you can't get here anymore. See, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone and their mother is constantly pushing Shanna and Dart together. Even though Dart explicitly says over and over again, no, 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 it's not like that. It's just not very progressive, you know? Nobody respects Dart's autonomy. Can you get back here? I don't know. Cannot carry anymore. What can I discard? 4, 5, 6. Raise angel prayer. I really don't need this many angel's prayers, probably. Detonate rock sucks. So yeah. Although it's fun to have them because they're rare, but they're rare because they suck. Oh. Oh, whatever. Ah, jeez. Flame puts me in the mood to do it. In the middle of the Knights' barracks. All the knights are walking around. They're just like, I heard what you said. All the way back here. Was I already here? I think I was already here, right? Yeah, okay. I love this guy, though. So he's boarded up his house to make sure that his shit doesn't get rocked by the oncoming battle that's about to be taking place in this particular town between Sandora and the Empire. It's funny, like it's a church, but all the benches have been kind of moved to the side, I guess. I wonder if that's like a war precaution. It's interesting. There we go. Oh. I think there's Stardust in the commander room, I think. This is Kaiser. He has like a unique character sprite, but basically serves no purpose and never shows up again. I remember all of this dialogue. It's so fun, like, to just look back at all this. Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. And that brings me to 8. Is that correct? Okay. So and I know there's more than 2 in low hands, and I think I can circle back and then get a thing, but it's just gonna be a pain in the booty hole to have to do that. Oi. There we go. Hold on. So we're just replacing this guard so that he can go do something else. So we're gonna go get Shanna, but then the owls leave. The enemy's coming! The enemy's coming! Oof! Oh, really? Oh, okay. Damn, I thought I would one-shot him for sure. Jesus, look at the damage. Ah! Damn it. Now everyone knows I'm bad. I love how Lavitz just deflected a bunch of blows and then the dude just fell. He's like, I'm tired. Alright, so this is the first of 2 bosses in this segment of the game. Alright. Oh, that actually didn't do that much. Can Dart, like, hit harder than the magic?
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Yes, he can. Oh my. Okay. But I know Lavitz can't. Well, let me just double check. No, he can't. But he doesn't hit much harder, though, with magic, so... Might as well save him for now.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Uh-oh.
Harpoon. Yes. Go. Volcano.
Alright, so this part of the boss, I always thought the way that, because like, so he splits into 3, right? And I always thought that the way that you're supposed to tell which one is which is you have to wait to see which one does magic. But apparently, oh, goodbye, Lavitz. Apparently the one with the bigger shadow is the actual one, or something like that. Or like with the thicker shadow. Looks like that one. Or I don't know if it's thicker or bigger. Well, we'll find out.
Yes. Go.
No, I was wrong. It's the one on the left. Okay. Yeah, so this is how you would tell. Like, at least how I would tell. He does magic. So that's the real one.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
There we go. So the bigger shadow is the one where it's actually him. So it looks like it's the one on the right now.
Yes. Go. Volcano. Yes. Go.
Got him.
Volcano.
Nope. Okay, a little more health. I was wrong. Oh, no, I got him. That was funny. There we go. We got Burning Rush. Alright, so first things first. Just gonna heal myself. Goodbye, Lavitz.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
It's 37. It's funny because I thought I equipped an item that increases my magic for Dart, but I don't know. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's that good shit. All right. That's that good damage. Doom. Doom. Oh, I mistimed it. Oops.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Yo, get skipped. Get Nate on. Let's go. Love this cutscene. One of my favorites in the game. Out of nowhere, the titular namesake finally shows up. It's like, what is this plain Jane looking ass game? Like, I thought there's supposed to be like dragon armor people, and then finally one shows up and it's like, it's the coolest shit ever. Nanda. I think she does like a hair flip, but they didn't have the money to animate the polygons, so she just flips nothing. So cool. That should give me one more level up for Dart. There we go. So after this scene, we'll finally have Rose in our party, who is probably... let me think about this. She's at the very least the most storied character in this game. I'm still not super convinced that the characters are... Like, they have arcs and everything. It's not that they're badly written. It's just that they are very simple. But for Legend of Dragoon standards, Rose is probably the most complex character. But again, she's not, like, super complex or anything. But her story is pretty interesting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The bots have invaded. Oh, no! My chat! Ah! It's weird. She just says this. And, like, that's a massive hint to her character, but, like, nobody here picks up on it. It might be a like, the word generation might be a mistranslation. I don't know. I forgot how cool Rose is. So now that Darda's a Dragoon, basically everybody expects him, well, go fight the dragon, because ain't nobody else could do it. But one of the things about Darda is that he has a very can-do attitude. So there's a lot of scenes where, like, he's given this big challenge and he always steps up like, yeah, I can do it. I am going to fight in a war. I am going to fight a dragon. I am going to save the world. So, very simple, but very classic. Is there a save point here? I guess not. Oh, it's up there. Fuck. Oh, well. So she'll teach you how like the Dragoon form works in battle, but I don't need to know. I know how it works. So we are gonna save and call it a day. And hopefully I'll be able to stream a little bit more often. But this was fun. Thanks for listening, anybody. Thanks for listening to me, anybody that was here. Always appreciate an ear. So yeah, we'll be back next time.